Alright, so we bought probably the cheapest brand new 2022 excavator you could find. It's a China import. Bought at an auction. Brand new, never been used or anything. So let's get this thing out the trailer and get it out of the wrapper. Alright, we got this thing in the shop. Let's get this thing unwrapped and see what we're working with here. Stuff's pretty tough. Alright, well, here's kind of the first look overview of it. It was wrapped up pretty good there with felt and plastic wrap. I mean, overall, seems pretty solid. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, Chinese steel's pretty much garbage. I mean, I've found that out the hard way before. But I mean, first looks, we're looking pretty good here. LED light. Thumb's a little chintzy. Nice little pleated floor mat. It's all metric, of course. And it's hydraulic oil. Can't really tell there's anything in there, actually. Don't think there is. Controls seem pretty... They seem pretty decent. Travel controls. Blade. Assuming that's auxiliaries. Throttle. Key. Lights. Little hour meter. It's got 1/10 of an hour on there. Tracks. So I had a KX008, and this is bigger than that. The KX008 was smaller than this. So I'm gonna kind of compare it to that. I no longer have that. I actually just sold that. It's part of our rental business, but. All right. Yeah, I mean, drive motors seem a little exposed, but they seem pretty big. I mean, comparing this to the KX008 seems a little bit heavier. in certain dimensions. So, all right, let's see if we can check this oil. Got a Briggs & Stratton motor. See how much fuel's in it. Okay, that's pretty dry. That's good. Okay. Let's see. Oil. Okay. Yeah. I know where it is, but you can't get to it. Oh, there. Look, down in there. Maybe there's an excess in the front. No. All right, I will be right back with you on that. All right, so you probably can't see too well, but out of the box, we are about halfway up the stick on oil. I was able to maneuver my hand down in there. Probably can't hardly see, but you can get down in there. It's not impossible. So, all right, well, let's get that tightened up. Okay. Single cylinder, Briggs & Stratton. I can't really see a whole lot through these side panels. You know, I will say, I mean, that's thick. That's solid steel. That there's tin. But this here, that's solid. It's not like a rolled piece of metal. Like, I mean, the Kubota I had it. That was all cast. Like, okay, there is oil in there. I don't know what that is. It's a kill cable. I have no idea what that does. Oh, it's their choke. Not a very good choke symbol. Okay, so let's put this down. Is our battery cut off? Key on. Does the light work? Okay, the light does work. Do we have crank? Okay, it cranks. All right, let's get some fuel. I'm probably the reason why the EPA did away with these style cans. I just made a heck of a mess here. Oh well, they work. Alright, it's about half a tank or so, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna throw a little bit of fuel treatment in there too. I use Startron. I don't know. I think they all work. I like the blue bottle. So before we go and start this thing, I actually worked this around. I guess I should explain why I bought it. Well, it was cheap. It was like really cheap. I bought it basically to resell, but also being that my buddy and I have a rental business, kind of wanted to see like how good a quality this is. I mean, I've had bad luck with China construction stuff before. I had a grapple bucket that kind of disintegrated the first time I hooked the hydraulics to it. I mean, it seems pretty well built. We'll know in a little bit here once we get it working, but yeah, so I'm gonna kind of do this as like a review sort of video. So in case like any of you guys that watch want to pick one of these up for, I don't know as though I'd want to put it into a rental fleet or like use it every day. I'm not expecting that, but you know, if I didn't have an excavation business and needed something for around the house, I'd definitely consider this. I mean, you can get into this machine for 10 grand or under, depending on shipping and everything. Yeah, another thing is I mean, I'm trying to get into becoming a dealer for some equipment. I mean, obviously, I don't want to be a dealer for something I don't stand behind. So with this thing's like a total pile, I don't really want to sell them to other people because that's just not right. But if it's half decent, I mean, I'd gladly try to pick up a couple more of them, and I'm sure they sell. Around here, a lot of people like to do stuff themselves, so. All right, well, that's enough of me rambling on. Just wanted to give you a little bit of a insight of why I have this when I have. All right, let's get this thing fired up. So we'll turn the battery on, give it like quarter throttle there, see if she'll fire without a choke. Okay, we'll throw the choke on. You know what? I checked. Sometimes these have. It does have a shut off. Let's give her another go. All right, maybe we'll give her a little shot of ether. Give it a kick. I'd like to think it should start after that, but maybe not. I don't know. It is only new. Try direct injecting ether. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's not supposed to happen. Okay. Well. Put this back on so that don't happen again. All right. Okay. It was running good there. Maybe it's not getting fuel. Maybe the fuel shut off needs to go the other way. No. Okay. Fuel shut off backwards. One thing I forgot to show you guys is come with this little toolbox. I have no idea what's in here, but let's open it up. Oh. I don't know what that is. Can any of you guys read that? Feels like grease. Interesting. Well, that's a filter. You have to let all the stuff dry out. And oh, look, a little grease gun. Huh. kind of cool. Yeah, there's the rest of the grease gun. Those look like piston seals. Not sure why you need them, but like cylinder seals. Pliers. Some extra grease zerks. Extra clip. I'm not gonna lie, this little toolbox is pretty cool. Drain all that water out and let this. Yeah, we'll put this right here. Here's where the heater's gonna blow on it. Hopefully that'll dry out. Alright, well, I guess what's left right now is to fire it back up and test. I'm gonna open the door this time. It's getting a little smoky in here. Alright, let's give this a little beat to go. Guys, I'm actually kind of impressed. I was expecting this thing to be like kind of just a pile. I mean, actually, it's a gas motor, so I mean that kind of discredits it for me a little bit. But it runs, it works, it's pretty smooth. It seems like it's got power, and I I think this would be a great little machine if you need it for around your property. I mean, or even if you were like a plumber or something, you just needed something to dig trenches now and then. Probably wouldn't be a bad unit. Real easy to move around, and I mean, I look like an idiot because the controls are backwards, but I'm not going to change them on it because I don't really plan on running it. I mean, everything's all labeled out there for you. It looks like the hour meter does work. I don't know, I'm pretty impressed with this little thing. Alright, so I'll just go back over this machine once more. You got 2 auxiliary ports here. All the hoses, I mean, they're a little vulnerable, but you can pay pretty good attention to it, and it looks like they're probably a standard hose that you could probably get just about anywhere. The one thing that would suck though, it looks like they're one hose and they run all the way back to the valve bank. So that could be a little bit annoying to change if one of them breaks. The thumb is adjustable, and honestly it probably wouldn't be too hard to just get a small hydraulic cylinder, and that's probably what I'd end up doing if I was going to keep this, just because the fact that this is going to get kind of annoying being here. But yeah, so you would take this bolt out here, fold that up, and this one will go in there to make your thumb go away. All the little grease zerks have dust caps on them, but they're not going to last that long. Looks like our ROPS is already pre-bent. I didn't notice that till now. I don't think it's really worth a whole lot anyway as far as rollover protection goes. Yeah, I don't know. It does have a seatbelt on it, which so it's a fine line. Like, this isn't, I wouldn't consider this a roll bar. I don't think this would save you in a rollover. I think it would just crumple. So like, if it has a roll bar, you're supposed to wear your seatbelt, but if there's no roll bar, you're not supposed to wear your seatbelt. So this is kind of one of them like catch-22 things, because you know the theory is if you don't have a roll bar and you're wearing your seatbelt, you're gonna be stuck there. But if you have a roll bar, it's meant to protect the machine from crushing you, so you want to stay with the machine. I don't know. I probably wouldn't wear a seatbelt on this. Honestly, I'd probably take this canopy off. Not really much use in it being there. Looks like they use like bolts for all these cylinders to be bolted on, or instead of pins. Not really the end of the world. It doesn't have a swing boom. Doesn't bother me, but I know a lot of guys like them. I personally don't, but I run it. And it's just one more spot to wear out, basically, is the way I feel. This is your auxiliary lever, so you'll have your hydraulics there. The battery disconnect's nice. I don't know if I'd want to run this on like a 90-degree day. It's not too hot. It does have a little bit of insulation, but kind of toasty. I mean, the Kubota I had, that was the same setup. The motor's underneath of it, underneath the seat. And it never really got too hot. Yeah, I mean, it's real simple, real straightforward. I would definitely, at this point, I would recommend this to a homeowner or a small landscaper or something of that matter. I don't really have anything work to do with it. I mean, I can go pick some logs up and stuff with it, but I'm going to look kind of dumb trying to run it because it's running on cat controls and I run deer, so might be a little goofy, but looks like it's got like a 16-inch bucket on it with bolt-on teeth. Bolt-on teeth, I mean, it's nice. You can change them easy, but they probably fall off easy too. But then again, I mean, in the big picture here, we're talking about what's classed as a 1 metric ton excavator. So it's not like you're dealing with like a 345 cat or something that's like just a massive machine. You're dealing with basically a powered shovel. The fact these drive motors are so exposed, it does worry me a little bit, but at the same point, they're all cast housings and the hoses are above, so I don't think you'd have a problem with that. The swing gear and everything looks identical to how the Kubota was. That was all exposed. As far as working on it, it looks like all of these panels to a point do come off. I don't really know what the lifespan of this machine is supposed to be, but I can't imagine you're going to get 3,000 hours out of it. Oh, look. The hour meter's disconnected. Guess the hour meter only works when it's running. It's a good thing. I do like the fact that it's got a Briggs & Stratton motor, because you can get parts for these. Some people don't like Briggs & Stratton, you know, it's what it is. It does have a pretty hefty cast steel counterweight down here. I mean, this is pretty tough steel. Normally you're using these things in tight areas. So, you know, it's not a zero tail swing, so I mean, you can kind of see a little bit of how much counter swing you're going to have there, probably about a foot. Oh, that's what I want to do. Let me get some measurements on this thing. Alright, so blade is just over 36 inches wide. Looks like the total machine width would be just shy of 37. Okay, bucket. The bucket is 14 inches. If you count your side cutters, it's going to cut a 16-inch trench. The height with the canopy. Let's see. We are at 88 inches. So, I think if I had to do any work inside or whatever, I'd yank that off. I mean, honestly, it's probably eventually going to just start rattling around. The build quality of that isn't the greatest. I don't know what the dig depth is on this. Probably say somewhere around 6 feet. So yeah, I guess that's going to kind of wrap this up. I don't really, like I said, I kind of bought this I bought it to flip it, but also figured while I got it, I may as well do a little bit of a review video and my thoughts on it, because I feel like a lot of people would be in the market for something very similar like this, you know, where they're on a budget, they would like to have something for around their house, but don't want to spend. I mean, so a KX008 brand new is like 25 grand. So you're talking like at least 2.5 times more than this. So, I mean, this machine here is worth about $10,000, 9 to 10, depending on how hard it is. I mean, most of it's the shipping. I mean, I had to drive 2 hours to go pick this up. Not a big deal. Took half a day. It was raining anyway. So I mean, for just like a little homeowner type machine, I think this would be excellent. Simple enough that you could fix it. Small enough you could tow it with a small SUV or even a minivan. I mean, as you saw, I loaded on the bed of my truck. I mean, it's a 1-ton truck, and my suspension's a little heavier than the standard 1-ton, but it handled just fine. I mean, it actually drove really nice coming home. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good machine. If I get a chance, I will take it out and move some logs around with it, see if I can figure out how much it'll lift. Just right now, I kind of I don't want to use it too much. I want to keep it kind of in new condition because I'm trying to sell it as a new machine. So, but yeah, these are my thoughts on the machine. If you guys have any questions or comments or whatever, feel free to reach out. I will do my best to answer anything I can on it. But first impressions, it seems like a pretty solid unit. I wouldn't hesitate to buy one if I was in the position of needing one. All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.